hanging out with you. Craig Pellegrini is out here as well, NASCAR driver from Buena, New Jersey. But joining us right now, me and Mike Carlin hanging out with you. It's Mike from Meyers Brewing. Meyers Lighthouse is right there on Route 9 in Ocean View. For those who are old enough, it used to just be the mini golf course and the batting cages. But now you can have some beer when you're playing mini golf. Mike, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
We appreciate you jumping on. And, you're one of the many great people that not just local people at this point, but also great options can come to Boulevard Super Liquor. So really quick, kind of tell people if they come down to Boulevard Super Liquors, what do you have in stock here?
Absolutely. Thank you again, guys, for having us. We're excited to be here. We're pumped to be a part of this community. This place is fantastic. Good friends with the guys that own this place. We have always a Pilsner in the cooler. We have either an Eagles-themed Pilsner or a Phillies-themed Pilsner. We have the Brewbirds still in stock now. We also run a Session IPA, which is like a nice lighter IPA, as well as our staple Hole-in-One, which is 6.9% hazy IPA. All three of those are available now and rotate a little, but those two main staples always stay.
Now, for those who maybe can make it down to, let's say maybe this weekend, they're going to go stock up here at Boulevard Super Liquors. But let's say next weekend when the weather's a little nicer, they want to come down and play mini golf down at the Lighthouse. What do you guys have in the tasting room right now?
Absolutely. We are big fans of rotation. So we are making new beers almost weekly. We have our two staples, that Hole-in-One and usually the Pilsner, but the rest of it changes. So we're constantly coming up with new beers. We have fantastic hazy IPAs. We always like to have some light stuff. We have a lager, Mexican lager on right now. That's fantastic. But we're always trying to do our best to keep everybody interested by making new beers and, offering a great way for families to come out and enjoy the golf course as well as be out back having a couple beers.
So as someone who's lived in South Jersey most of my life, I think a Sea Isle guy originally for me, that mini golf course is iconic for a lot of us. So how did you end up there? Like, I want to hear that story.
It's a crazy story. So we were on a tight budget, and I was kind of door knocking to try to find a location, I guess. And the guy 2 doors down didn't work out, and I kind of pulled out of the parking lot and passed the mini golf course, and there was a for sale by owner there. So I called the number. The guy showed up an hour later.
Timing. Sounds like timing.
It was crazy. It showed up an hour later, and then we had to deal within 2 weeks and bought the property, and we went for it. We had no approvals. We were like, we're going to get this. We have this great idea, and we'll just see if it works out. And it did, thank God. So, yeah.
So now for you, when you landed there, okay, has it exceeded expectations? Is it a bit about what you expected? Because, it's such a unique location. I mean, you got a lot of traffic driving by every day.
It did, and it did exceed our expectations. The mini golf course was something I knew nothing about. I've never owned a mini golf course. I like to play it, but that was a complete shock to us. We thought the idea would be cool. It'd be something else for the parents, but it worked out really well. And the combination between the two of them, I think, is what makes it work. One without the other doesn't work.
So, Mike, I'm still learning the ropes of being a craft beer kind of guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I say still learning, it's a couple months in.
Sure.
So I'm a big, people know me, I'm a big rum and coke kind of guy.
Yeah.
But when I have a beer, every once in a while, I'm like just a Coors Light. Like I don't know all the funny names that go along with it. If I came in and said to your place, hey, I'm a Coors Light kind of guy. Would you push me to something that's going to be close to that Coors Light?
I would, and I'm giving you a Phil's Pills. That's what I'm giving you. And that's our Phillies themed beer.
Oh, perfect timing.
Super light, very easy to drink. We use some upgraded malts now in it, which make it even better than last year. But that's the beer I'm putting in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really, perfect.
Yeah. Really quick, when you say update, you say update or upgrade?
Upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what goes in? Because I go to a lot of the craft breweries down here. I'm a big Cape May County guy. I go up and down, and when people say, "Hey, we upgraded the brew," everyone has a different meaning for that. So what does it mean for Meyers?
So for us, we're constantly just trying to put out a superior product. Our brewer, Andrew Swanson, who's a local guy, he grew up down here in Summers Point and now lives over in Upper. He's just always trying new things and always putting products together that would elevate our beers, I guess. So we just started using a great facility in South Jersey that's a local malt company, Rabbit Hill. So we started using that in a lot of our Pilsners and lagers, which has elevated it and made it even better.
Very cool. Yeah. All right, so we are also here at Boulevard Super Liquors. People still have come down and sign the Cooper DeJean jersey or Devontae Smith helmet. You must come down to sign up. We will announce the winner around 3 o'clock. So Eagles.
Yeah.
This year, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, that first round pick, I think it was fantastic. I think that was a good play. We'll see how the rest of the wide receiver room changes, I guess, or doesn't. I don't know.
It's going to change.
Yeah,
gonna change.
I mean, it seems. Yeah,
changing.
We're waiting, I guess. But we're huge Birds fans and huge Phils fans. We've been in Philadelphia too for a long time, so we have a location in Fishtown, and we support the Birds and big time.
So now you just mentioned the wide receiver. I mean, we asked Dave Jr. earlier about this, and he had a very interesting take on it. He said, as a former athlete, he says he was bothered by how A.J. Brown handled things. As an Eagles fan, were you bothered by the A.J. Brown stuff, or you were just kind of like, whatever, he's a wide receiver?
I think he's such a good talent. It's just hard to let good talent go because you never know how these drafts are going to end up or these players are going to play. And he's a superior talent. So obviously want the best roster we could put on the field. And I think he should be on that roster. I mean, they fought hard to get him. It was an interesting way they got him, but they got him. He did well for us.
I think that's perfect timing to say something like that. Because literally, there's only a couple guys at his level that we're like being very nice, saying, "Oh, June 1st is coming. We're just going to." Why do we got to lose him? Yeah. Why do we have to lose him? He hasn't come out and said, "I want out."
Well, I'll be the bad guy here. You guys can be good cop. I'll be bad cop. Okay. So first of all, football is the ultimate team sport. Everyone's got to be on the same page. And when I see people like Kurt Warner and Brian Baldinger and Nick Foles all saying that A.J. Brown is quitting on routes, that he's putting his quarterback in a bad position to be successful, I don't care how talented you are. I don't want someone who is not 100% part of the team's success. I don't want him on my team. Listen, I was never some great athlete. I was a marginal athlete at best. But when I played, football, basketball, baseball, and all the sports, one guy doesn't do their job, it affects the whole team.
Right.
So to me, if AJ don't want to be a part of the team's success, I don't want him here.
But he hasn't said that.
That's true.
He has not once said, I don't want to be part of this team. And the guys that you just mentioned, Josh, they just all happen to be quarterbacks. What do you know? What do you know?
Okay,
maybe they had
Richard Sherman's another one. He's criticized.
Okay. My point is, I don't think
I got the Rolodex.
I don't think he's not as bad as everybody thinks he is.
I don't think,
and every other team would love to have him.
I don't think he's a bad guy. Okay, the Eagles have done a very good job of bringing in quality people. Howard Roseman has been on record multiple times about that. But I think that when someone, and this is where it gets a little dicey, but it's my show and I can say whatever I want. Hanging with Hennig here on 97.3 ESPN. When somebody talks, when someone says one thing and then does something else, it rubs me the wrong way. Okay. When you sit there and tell the media everything is good, like, for example, there were times this year that A.J. Brown stuck up for Jalen Hurts when no one else did. Okay. Well, that's great on Wednesday.
Right.
But when Sunday comes around and the quarterback throws you an obvious touchdown and you quit on the route, that irks me.
That's a tough one to come back from, I guess. I don't know. That's like, he's just so good. If they were throwing to him more and utilizing him more through that time period.
Guess what? When they threw it to him more, they lost 3 straight games. And then remember the Chargers game, he dropped 3 balls.
He did. You're absolutely right.
And that's another thing. I mean, I don't know how.
Mike, we can't beat him.
I know. I'm trying. I'm thinking. And
forget that it's his show. We can't beat him.
Right. And sometimes I think a change of scenery is just best.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that with the Phillies. Sometimes
Andy Reid.
Yeah.
We just go on and on.
He's a fantastic coach, but sometimes change of scenery is best.
And listen, again, I'm not anti-A.J. Brown. I just don't like, to me, actions speak louder than words. Like, first of all, he deserved a ton of credit for that 10-minute mental health post he did earlier this year, talking about mental health after, I forget the guy who, he died because he took his own life.
Right.
The one guy, the receiver's name off the top of my head. But, that was a very heartfelt post. Like, those are the kind of things that make you love the guy.
Right.
But then he goes on a Twitch stream in the middle of the season and complains about the offense and this. And then when the media asks him about it, they're like, oh, I love Kevin Patullo. It's like, Kevin Patullo did, like, when he said Kevin Patullo did a great job this year, I don't know about you guys, I wanted to punch the television. Like, I was like, no one in their right mind says Kevin Patullo did a great job except for A.J. Brown.
That's great. And you're not wrong.
Listen, I'm the bad guy. When I'm on with Mike Gill on the Sports Bash during the week on 97.3, I'll take the bad guy position. You ever see the movie Scarface? You never meet a bad guy like this again.
Right.
But back to the current team. So let's say AJ Brown isn't here. So you do like Mekhi Lemon, the draft pick.
I like it. Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason. I think he fell, and they had to go get him. And how he does his thing when
you know why
when
he
that
fell.
happens. Well, they traded. Well, the Steelers were supposed to grab him, right?
Well, the Steelers were trying to.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Steelers are not going to get punished for violating NFL rules. But read into that what you will.
Right.
But no, he fell because he's a quirky guy.
Right.
He's got, he does the whole, he sways when he talks, and he likes to wear sunglasses inside because apparently he's got some sort of eye issue.
Oh, is that it?
Only when he's inside. It's amazing. He can play on a football field without, but he needs them everywhere else.
Does he have the dark visor? Do we know that yet?
He definitely wore the dark visor in USC.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But he's a quirky guy, and some teams viewed that as, we don't know if he's really a football guy.
Okay.
But the Eagles, well, listen, I think we all can agree. The Eagles have the weirdest head coach in football. Can we agree on that?
He's a quirky guy.
He's odd.
He is.
So
Doesn't hold
Sirianni
back.
probably found a
He
kindred.
doesn't.
He probably found a kindred spirit
Right.
because Lemon's one of these guys. He's all ball. He doesn't care about the other stuff. He's not the greatest, interviewer. He's awkward.
Right.
But you know what? If he goes out there and catches
If he
10
balls,
touchdowns, I don't
listen,
care if he's awkward.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a reason why he went in the first round. He's
Right.
really good.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's really good for our team. You know why?
Yes.
Because he goes over the middle. He plays over the middle. And when it's going to open it up for Smith now to
Right.
use his speed and go long.
Right.
Now you have Lemon and the tight end,
Yep.
who could be our guy from
He likes
Vandy.
Stowers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If it all comes together, it's going to be one hell of an offense.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned about right now you got the Phillies on tap.
Yeah.
Over at the so how you feel about the Phillies?
I mean, they played a lot better these past few weeks. I think the confidence is back. I think, like we said earlier, I think a change of scenery sometimes is good for everybody. They seem to be playing good for Donnie, so we'll see.
Except this week.
Well, yeah, they fell a little bit, but they also had an easy schedule right after that firing.
That's
so
true.
That was a part of it. So I don't know.
I just
They
always
don't make you confident, I guess.
I gotta ask you this, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike from Meyers Lighthouse Brewing. Of course, you can get that right here at Boulevard Super Liquors here on Roosevelt Boulevard in Marmora, or you can visit them over on Route 9 in Ocean View, which for those who don't know, it's right down the street from the Super Wawa. It's
Yeah.
not hard to find, okay? I always find it weird that someone has to be fired because other people are not doing their job. The concept's always weird to me. For example, let's say someone works for you,
Right.
okay, over at Meyers Lighthouse Brewing.
Right.
They spill the tap.
Okay.
They're serving a beer. They drop it on the ground.
Right.
You don't lose your job because they didn't do their job.
Yeah.
I've always been perplexed about why is sports the only world where the person who didn't do their job creates a dynamic for their boss to get fired.
Right. And now more than ever, right? Because
Right.
this didn't used to happen. I mean, 20, 30 years ago, something like that. You got to stick through some
You
of that
never got
stuff.
rid of the coach.
No.
We got to get rid of the player. Now
Right.
we pay him 30, 40 million. You can't get rid of him.
Right.
Can't get rid of him.
Right.
They're making more than the coach.
But we live in this time period now where I feel like people just get super impatient and they have to have the change and they do it. And I don't know why. I don't get it either.
Like this week, Don Mattingly told the media that apparently Bryce Harper does not like hitting the 2-hole.
Okay.
And you're just like
Come on.
okay,
Yeah.
what do I do with that?
Yeah.
Like Harper's the same guy who sits there and says, I'll do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. But you
But
don't
then-
want to be in the 2-hole?
Yeah,
Like what?
That's contradictory. Yeah.
Like it's weird stuff like that. Like baseball is such a weird sport to me. It's just so perplexing about you have a game like last night. Christopher Sanchez has an amazing game, right? He's lights out. He goes 8 innings. He's shutting down the Indians, who are probably the best team in the American League Central.
Right.
Okay, so he shut their lineup down, and nobody in your team got excited enough to make contact.
Right.
They're
Right. And that's crazy. Yeah.
Listen, we keep going on, but Mike, we appreciate you
Yeah.
jumping on with us.
Absolutely.
Again, tell everybody what they can find right here at Boulevard Super Liquor.
Absolutely. We are always going to have a nice Pilsner. We think the light beers are fantastic and people are really gravitating towards them these days. We have a session, which is kind of your in the middle IPA. And then we have our hole in one, which is a heavier hazy IPA. And those are the three. We always have something in those categories for people. We find that those are the three most popular beers. And yeah, that's what we're always trying to improve. And if you guys are bored, come down, play some mini golf and have a beer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mike, appreciate you jumping
Thank
on
you,
with us.
buddy.
You guys are great. Thank you.